Hello, my dear students. I welcome you all for this lecture. So, we will see the chapter number 13, Kinetic Theory. In that, Boyle's Law. The Boyle's Law states that at constant temperature, the volume of a given mass of a gas is inversely proportional to pressure. So, that is, the V is inversely proportional to P, or it is V is directly proportional to 1 by P. So, that is PV is equal to constant. For two number of turns, the P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2, where P1 P2 are the pressures and V1 V2 are the volumes. Then we'll see the second law, that is Charles law. At constant pressure, the volume of a given mass of a gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature. So that is the V is directly proportional to T, that is V by T is equal to constant. Then the V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2, okay, where the V1 V2 are the volumes and T1 T2 are the temperatures. And the third law, that is Gay-Lussac law. At constant volume, the pressure P of a given mass of a gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature. That is, the P is directly proportional to T, where the P divided by T is equal to constant. That is, the P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. Okay, so that is the P1 P2 are the pressures and the T1 T2 are the temperatures. So these are the three laws we have studied already in previous video also. Okay, and in the previous another one chapter, that is thermal properties of matter, there also we discussed. Then we'll see the next part of this chapter, that is perfect gas or ideal gas. Okay, so what is meant by the perfect gas? The gas obey Boyle's law or Charles law. Okay, the which gas obey the Boyle's law or Charles law, that is known as the perfect gas, or the gas which satisfies the relation PV is equal to nRT. Okay, so that is PV is equal to nRT. If it obeys this law, that is known as the perfect gas or ideal gas. So the PV ideal gas equation is what? The PV is equal to nRT for n mole of gas and PV is equal to RT for 1 mole of gas. If the P is the pressure of a 1 mole of gas and R is what? Universal gas constant, and V is a volume of a ideal gas at temperature T. Therefore, the PV is equal to RT is the ideal gas equation for 1 mole of gas, and PV is equal to nRT is the perfect gas equation or ideal gas equation for n mole of gas. Then we will see some note. The equation is applicable for real gases at low pressure and at high temperature. Okay, it is applicable only for when the low pressure or at high temperatures are there. This is because the low pressure or at high temperature, the molecules of a gas will be far apart. The molecular interaction between that two will be not there. Okay, the molecular reaction means, suppose it may be collision, it may be interactive force like attractive force or repulsive force is not there. So without interaction, in that case only the ideal gas are applicable. Okay. Then the second note is what? The value of universal gas constant, that perfect value, okay, R is equal to 8.31 joules per mole per Kelvin. Okay, so this is the value of universal gas constant. Then the third one, that is P1, V1, T1. Suppose these are the initial values, P2, V2, T2 are the final values. Then the equation P1, V1 divided by T1 is equal to P2, V2 divided by T2 is equal to constant. Okay, so this equation also will use. Then the fourth one, the number of moles of a in terms of molecular mass and the mass of a gas. Suppose the number of moles of gas, the small n is equal to m divided by m naught, where small n is the number of moles of gas, capital M is molecular mass of a gas, and m naught is the mass of a gas. Okay. Therefore, the small n is equal to m divided by m naught is the one important relation. Then next one, the number of moles in terms of number of molecules and Avogadro's numbers. Okay, in that the relation small n is equal to, small n is what? The number of moles of a gas. Okay, that is equal to, okay, that is n divided by n naught, where n is the number of moles and Na is what? That is the Avogadro's number, and that have the correct value 6.023 into 10 raised to 23. Next one, that is the assumption of kinetic theory of gases. Okay, it is also known as the molecular picture of matter. Okay, that is related to kinetic theory of gas, or it is the assumption of kinetic theory of gases. Okay, so it is, these parts are very important one. Okay, for exams they will ask, you state the assumption of kinetic theory of gases. So we'll see the assumptions of kinetic theory of gases. First one, a given amount of gas is collection of large number of molecules. Okay, suppose you should see the any one system. Okay, there the number of gas molecules, okay, collected in that number will be large number. Okay, the given amount of gas, okay, is a collection of large number of molecules. So gas are having in that system large number of molecules. Second one, all the molecules of a gas are interacted with randomly, increasing, okay, that are moving the randomly here and there. Okay, sometimes the collision will be there, sometimes the attractive force, attraction, repulsion will be there. Okay, all are moving randomly here and there in that molecules. Third one, the average distance between the molecules is 10 times or the more than the size of the molecule. Okay, so that is, suppose the 2 angstrom, the average distance. So what is meant by the average distance or mean distance? It is the distance covered by the molecule between two successive collisions. Okay, it is the average distance is what? It is the distance covered by the molecules between two successive collisions. So that will be the average distance between the molecules is 10 times or more than the size of the molecules. Then the gas molecules do not exert any force of attraction or repulsion on each other except during collision. Okay, so the gas molecules do not exert any force of attraction or repulsion on each other, but the collision will be there. Okay, except the during collision. Okay, the collision time, the attraction repulsive force will be there. Next one, the gas molecules move in a straight line and obey the Newton's first law of motion. Okay, so it obey the Newton's law also. So therefore the gas molecule move in a straight line and that obey the law of motion, Newton's law of motion. Then the gas molecules change their velocities when they collide with each other or with the walls of the container. Okay, the molecules changes their velocities. Okay, when they are collide with each other, or after that whenever collides with walls of container, after the collision before collision, whatever the velocity will be there, that are different. Next, the molecular collisions are elastic collisions. Okay, that are the elastic collisions, and the molecular collisions are instantaneous collisions. Okay, so they are elastic collisions and they are instantaneous collisions. We will see how that is a elastic collision. The molecular collisions are elastic collisions, that is, the total kinetic energy momentum of gas molecules are conserved. Okay, the total kinetic energy and momentum of gas molecules are conserved. The molecular collisions are instantaneous. Okay, I told that are instantaneous. That is because the time of collision between the two molecules, okay, that is negligible compared to the time of interval between the two successive collisions. Okay, so that is what, see, the time of collision between two molecules is very small time as compared to the time interval between what, the two successive collisions. So because of that reason, here the collision will be elastic collision, because the kinetic energy and momentum of gas is a conserved, and that is instantaneous because the collision between the two molecules, okay, is very small time as compared to the time interval between two successive collisions. Then what is meant by the mean free path? Or it is the average distance covered by the molecule between two successive collisions. Okay, so the statement of mean free path or average free path is what? It is the average distance covered by the molecules between two successive collisions. And that equation is the mean free path, okay, L bar, that is equal to 1 divided by root 2 n pi d square, where n is the number of molecules per unit volume and d is the diameter of a molecule. Next, we will see the expression for mean free path. Okay, expression for mean free path of a gas molecule in a gas. Okay, so suppose you consider here the one cylindrical object. Okay, then after that here you should take gas molecules. Suppose A is consider the first gas molecule in a form of sphere, and the diameter of this will be small d. Small d is what? The diameter of this molecule A. Then that is moving with the average speed. Okay, it is moving with average speed. That is the phi AV. Phi AV is what? The average speed of the molecule A. Then this molecule will collide with the maybe molecule B or C, because the molecules are moving randomly here and there in this container. Okay, so because of that reason it may collide with another molecule B, or it may collide with another molecule C. Then here the distance D, okay, that is the distance D is the what? That is the bit where whenever the molecule will collide in any molecule B or C, A will collide with any molecule B or C, thence comes within a distance D between the center of a molecule as indicated in the figure. Okay, so it may be collide with any distance D. D is a distance between the centers of molecules as indicated in the figure. Then after that, the volume V, suppose V is the volume swept by a molecule A in a moving form of a point 1 to the point 2 in a time delta t, that is given by the V is equal to surface area of the molecule A into the distance traveled by the molecule X. Okay, so suppose the whatever the distance covered by the molecule is suppose x, okay, x is the distance covered by the molecule, and after that suppose the surface area of the molecule is the pi d square and the distance covered by the molecule is phi av into delta t. Consider that as a equation number 1. Then if n is small n is what? N is the, suppose the number of molecules per unit volume of a gas, then the molecule collide with the nv number of molecules in a delta t, then the number of collision executed by the molecule A, then n is equal to n into v. So suppose that is equation number 2. Then from the equation first and second, we may say that n is equal to n pi d square into phi av into delta t. Then after that, the rate of collision of the molecule A is n divided by delta t is equal to n pi d square phi av. Then the reciprocal of the rate of collision of time tau between the two successive collision. Okay, tau is what? Tau is the time between two successive collision, that is tau is equal to delta t divided by n. So that is equal to 1 divided by n pi d square into phi av. Suppose that is equation number 3. But mean free path is L bar is equal to average distance covered by the molecule between two successive collisions in the time tau. Therefore, the L bar is equal to phi av into tau. Suppose that is equation number 4. In deriving the above equation, we may assume that the other molecules to be rest, but only actually all molecules are moving randomly here and there. The collision rate is determined by the average related molecules velocity of that molecule. Then suppose the phi av is the related, or that is replaced by phi av, then your equation becomes L bar is equal to phi av relative into tau. So that is relative phi av is equal to phi av divided by root 2. Suppose from equation 6 and 5 we may write L bar is equal to phi av by root 2 into tau. Suppose that is equation number 7, and from the equation number 3 in 7 we may write L bar is equal to 1 divided by root 2 n pi d square. So from the above equation it is observed that the mean free path depends the inversely proportional, okay, it is inverse on the number of molecules per unit volume and the size of the molecules. So therefore, whenever the mean free path L, okay, that is inversely proportional to n is what? That is the number of molecules, and it is also inversely proportional to d. Okay, d is what? The size of the molecule. Okay, so here the L mean free path is inversely proportional to n and d. Therefore, whenever mean free path increases, the number of molecules decreases. When the size of the molecule is also decreases. So like this, the mean free path is related to the n and d. we will see that. Okay, we'll discuss it once again. That is the volume V is equal to pi d square into VAV into delta T. Okay, where what is pi d square? Pi d square is what? Surface area of the molecule. Okay, it is surface area of the molecule, and VAV into delta T is what? It is the distance traveled by the molecule. It is what? The distance traveled by the molecules, and it is what? Pi d square is the surface area of the molecule. Suppose we may consider the number of collisions exerted by the molecule A, then the small n is the, suppose small n is what? That is the number of molecules per unit volume. Then the capital N is equal to small n into V. Okay, suppose this is equation number 2. Then from equation 1 and 2, okay, from equation 1 and 2, we may write that suppose the capital N is equal to small n into pi d square into VAV into delta T. Then after that, from the equation 1 and 2, we may get this equation. Therefore, N divided by delta T. Delta T take this side, then that is equal to N pi d square into VAV. Okay, that is N pi d square into VAV. If the 2 is the here the time between the two successive collision. Okay, the reciprocal of rate of the collision of time between the two successive collision, that is the tau is equal to reciprocal of this. So I may write that is the delta T divided by N is equal to 1 divided by N pi d square into VAV. Suppose this is equation number 3. Then suppose the average mean free path is L bar is equal to VAV into tau. Suppose this is equation number 4, where what is L bar? That is the mean free path, that is equal to average distance covered by the molecule between two successive collisions in a time tau. That is L bar is equal to VAV into tau. Then from equation number 4. Okay, so the equation number 4 we may write for equation number 4. We may write for it is for average distance when the relative motion, okay, between the collisions, that time the actual L bar is equal to VAV into relative. Okay, it is the relative motion between the VAV into tau. Suppose this is equation number 5. From this we may write, but the VAV relative I may write this as a, suppose I may write it L bar, or it is the VAV divided by root 2, that is equation number 6. From equation 6 and 5, what is the L bar value? L bar is equal to VAV divided by root 2 into tau. You write this as equation number 7. Then suppose you put equation number 3 in equation number 7. So from equation number 3 and 7, what is equation number 3? Tau is equal to delta t by n, that is equal to 1 divided by n pi d square VAV. What is equation number 7? L bar is equal to VAV by root 2 into tau. Okay, so you should write equation number 3, tau value, that is I will write L bar is equal to, suppose that is the VAV divided by root 2 into 1 divided by n pi d square VAV. VAV get cancelled. Then the L bar is equal to, that is the 1 divided by root 2 n pi d square. Okay, so this is the relation. So that is L bar is equal to 1 divided by n pi d square. So this is the mean free path. Okay, so from equation this observed that the mean free path depends on the